Good morning. Thanks again for joining me for another mindful moment. Today I want to touch base on a dynamic that I think is pretty prevalent, even for myself. And that is simply that it is so easy to not do what we know is helpful. I just recently did a pilot program and I provided mindfulness activities, things to do for an organization, and it's a very stressful one. People are working really hard, want to make a difference, and there's a lot of stress, worry, and fear around that. So we provide activities and things to reduce stress, to help them engage in their daily activities in meaningful ways, and to try it out, just see what works for them. And so I just concluded the pilot program, did a little survey, and fascinating results, and I think they're probably pretty common. And that was that in the end, one of the questions is pretty simple. When you did the daily activities, did you find them beneficial? Across the board, the answer was yes. There's always, almost always, usually, and that was across the board the predominant answer. In other words, when I did this, I found it beneficial. Reduced stress, it's allowed me to engage my life more meaningfully. So one would think if I do this, then my life's a little better, there's less stress, and I'd do it more. But that's not what we find. What we find is that the other answer was, how often did you do this? And there was a lot of rarely, randomly, and in the category of like 3 to 5 times a week. So far I've only had like two people. And so most people, even though they know it's beneficial, have experienced the benefits, and they didn't do it. So why didn't we do it? So there's this category, what's the biggest obstacle? A lot of people, time, the time required to read and contemplate and engage in. It's about 5 minutes. And then, of course, if you meditate, I had some 10-minute meditations. So let's say it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then to be a little more present, try to engage in activity in your day. So if you look across the board, there's not enough time. I do it rarely. When I do it, I get good benefit. Now, this is just with mindfulness, but across the board, there's so many things in our lives that we know could improve our lives, but we don't do them. What's that all about? And habits, conditioning, tendencies. In this particular study, and really the message I want to get out today, is that here's the dynamic that just fascinates me, and I'm guilty too. We are way too busy creating stress, worry, fear in our lives to make time to eliminate stress, worry, and fear in our lives. In other words, if you look at this study, if you look at results like this, I'm way too busy creating stress, worry, and fear in my life. I'm way too busy to take 15 minutes a day to eliminate the stress, worry, fear, concerns in my life. What an interesting perspective. The question is, what's the biggest obstacle, or what would you like different? Consistently comes back to, I would like these things to be shorter. I would like it to require less effort and less time. So is there some magic pill I could take and I would suddenly be more mindful, more present, less stress? Is there a little 5-minute thing I can do, to train my mind to be more attentive? Guess what? The answer is no. If we want to improve our lives, if we would like our busy, obsessive, compulsive mind to be more present, that we can train it to attend to the thoughts that we'd like to, yeah, we can actually do that. It's pretty time-tested, proven ways of doing that. But it requires time, energy, and effort. If you want to play a trumpet, gotta learn how to play a trumpet, gotta practice. Want to learn a foreign language? Guess what? Gotta practice. If you want to train your mind to be attentive, to be present, if you want to train your mind so you're not caught up in every worry and fear that arises, and you can bring your attention, be a problem solver, yeah, you can do that. But it requires some effort. So instead of taking all that time and energy in our lives caught up in busyness, stress, worries, and fears, I'm going to invite you to make a little time to eliminate all of the busyness, rumination of the mind that creates stress, worry, and fears, the activities. Instead of thinking about what do I need to do to be happier and or fulfilled, how about what do I need to stop doing to be happier and fulfilled in life? What do I need to not do to be happier? That's a much more interesting question. One of the ways to get there is to establish a daily practice. So I have mentioned that we do have a Mindful Life community that provides daily support. It's cheap. It doesn't take long. It's really there to help people. I encourage you to try that out, Mindful Life community. Mindfulness and recovery for people in a mindfulness and that want to practice mindfulness that are in recovery. mindfulnessandrecovery.com. But also for anyone, I have meditation support. You can go to my website, ameaningfullife.us, and there's 28 days of meditation every single day. I will sit with you. You'll have a video and get you through 4 weeks of learning a habit to meditate so you can be more present. It's there for you. I would love for you to take a little time to create the conditions to stop having so much stress, worry, and fear. I'm going to wrap it up on this. If you had cancer and you were going to die and someone said, hey, you know what? If you took 20 minutes a day to do this regimen, this routine, you'll be cancer free. Guess what? You'd make the time. How about if you want to eliminate an enormous unnecessary amount of stress, worry, fear, anxiety, and the health conditions that arise from that by taking 20 minutes a day to help change your life? You can do that. Well, why not? Take a look. Give it a shot. See if that little box says, when I do this, my life gets better. Maybe we should do it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I do hope you found this beneficial, and look forward to chatting with you tomorrow.